Interior of the Earth, Chapter 3, Class 11, Book Fundamental of Physical Geography. To know the Earth, that is, the Earth's radius is 6,370 kilometers. No one can reach the center of the Earth and make observations or collect samples of material. Under such conditions, we need to depend on few direct sources and few indirect sources to know the unknown. The most easily available solid earth material is surface rocks or the rocks we get from mining. So, if we talk about the direct sources, deep ocean drilling project, integrated drilling project, and volcanic eruption. Gold mines in South Africa are as deep as 3 to 4 kilometers. That is, the deepest mine is located in Johannesburg, that is Ponang Gold Mine in South Africa. Going beyond this depth is not possible as it is very hot at this depth. Now, the next picture shows that beside mining, the scientists world over are working on two major projects such as deep ocean drilling project and integrated ocean drilling project. The deepest drill today is at Kola in Arctic Ocean. By this, which we can reach 12 kilometers. The next important volcanic eruptions forms another source of obtaining information. As and when a molten matter, you can see the picture, is thrown out on the surface of the earth during volcanic eruption, it becomes available for laboratory analysis. So we can know what is there below the surface of the earth. Now, there are different types of volcanoes depending on the nature of eruption. The first picture shows the diagram of shield volcano. The shield volcanoes are the largest of all the volcanoes on the earth. These volcanoes are mostly made up of basalt, a type of lava that is very fluid. That's why you can see that how far it has spread and given it a feature of a shield which is used by warriors to protect them during the wars. They become explosive if somehow water gets into the vent. Otherwise, they are characterized by low explosivity. The upcoming lava moves in form of a fountain and throws out the cone at the top of the vent and develops into a cinder cone. The next diagram is of composite volcano. These volcanoes are characterized by eruptions of cooler and more viscous lava than basalt. These volcanoes often result in explosive eruptions. Along with lava, large quantities of pyroclastic material and ashes find their way to the ground. These material accumulates in the vicinity of the vent and form layers which you can see how layers have been deposited one after the other due to the volcanic eruption. The next is flood basalt volcano. These volcanoes outpour highly fluid lava that flows for long distances. The map of India shows the spread of flood basalt volcano which later on developed into Deccan Trap. So the Deccan Trap formed India presently covering most of the Maharashtra plateau are a much larger flood basalt province. Next, we have mid-oceanic ridges. These volcanoes occur in oceanic areas. You can see in the map given next to it the mid-Atlantic ridge in the Atlantic Ocean, how magma, the central portion of the ridge, experiences frequent eruptions. So, magma erupted and formed a ridge due to divergent plate movement. Next, we have a caldera type of volcano. These are the most explosive of Earth's volcano. They are usually so explosive that when they erupt, they tend to collapse on themselves rather than building any tall structure. And sometimes it has been noticed that water gets collected in the huge depression created by the collapse and is known as crater lake. These are few intrusive forms. Intrusive forms, also known as plutonic rocks, depending on the location of the cooling of lava, igneous rocks are divided into two categories, volcanic rocks and plutonic rocks. When lava cools within the crustal portion, you can see that all the features, batholith, Laculate, dike, sill. They are below the or inside the earth, inside the crust, solidified and given features, different kind of features. Now the next source of information, that is the indirect source of information to know the interior of the earth, earthquake. The earthquake helps us to know the earth's interior by the help of seismic waves. Now what is an earthquake? The release of energy along occurs along a fault. The picture shows the fault. Fault is the area or the region of weakness through which the earthquake tremors can be felt or earthquake occurs. The point where the energy is released is called focus of an earthquake, or it is also known as hypocenter, and the energy travels in different directions. The point on the surface nearest to the focus is called the epicenter. The magnitude of earthquake is measured by Richter scale. The major earthquakes on earth are all above 7.0 to 8.0, which brings a lot of destruction. Now what are seismic waves? In the diagram we have shown there are three types of waves: P waves, S waves and surface waves. P waves and S waves, which are shown by blue and red color, can be seen traveling through the earth, inside the earth, so they are known as body waves. Whereas your surface wave, which is shown by a yellow color arrow, that is L waves, are moving on the surface of the earth, and their movement have also been shown by the arrows. P waves can travel through all the mediums, that is solid, liquid and gases. S waves can travel only through solid bodies, and surface waves can be felt only on the surface of the earth. The surface waves are the last one to report on the seismograph, and P waves are the first one to report on the seismograph. So that's why P waves are also known as primary waves. Primary waves bring stretches or stress on the rock materials through which it travels. S waves, you can see the movement up and down. It means it brings crest and troughs through which it travels. Your surface waves are the most destructive waves. They bring the maximum damage, so they are also termed as the most damaging waves. Now, if we talk about the structure of Earth's interior, the Earth's interior, depending on our information from direct and indirect sources, is divided into crust, mantle, and core. The crust is the uppermost layer, which can be divided into two categories: oceanic crust and continental crust. Below it lies the mantle layer, upper mantle and lower mantle, and in between we have asthenosphere. One important thing is what is lithosphere. It forms the uppermost crust and the upper part of mantle. The inner part of the earth is divided into two categories, that is core, outer core and inner core. Outer core is in liquid state, whereas inner core is in solid state. The composition is given in the box, that what kind of rocks or what kind of elements can be seen in different layers. If you talk about crust, it is silica and alumina. If you talk about mantle, it is iron and magnesium. And if you talk about core, it's iron and nickel. That's all in this chapter, interior.